Hi everyone, it's Adrienne Leah. This is going to be a reading. I am happy if you're able to make it to the readings for some of the videos, um, because sometimes I go through like 10 rabbit holes. So I'm sorry or congratulations if you're able to finish the video. This one, I feel like I probably will say the tidbits and go on those tangents here and there. But I do want to say that there is um, a card that just spoke to me when when I had the deck out because I was finishing off the bag for it. The knitting portion um, was one that was finished a while ago, a couple months ago, to be honest. But the top portion I just got to, and I did it with my sewing machine. I'm happy that I did it with the sewing machine because this is like a medium weight yarn for the main color, and it's already, you know, the way that it is, like it's thick. So I put the ribbon in, and when the ribbon um is well loved and worn, I'll switch out the ribbon. And I got the ribbon with the decks, the two Ukrainian decks. So the deck that I'm talking about right now is the Sunflower Field Tarot. And the main deck that I use for these readings are the Glory to Ukraine Tarot. So there's a card that um, stood out to me, and it's the Three of Wands. And there's I love the scenery in here, and with this card, it kind of like it feels like it says to me like find me, like it leaves like a trail of some sort, like if you're um in different stories they say that they leave like the breadcrumbs or like something behind to where someone else could like catch up and find them type of situation. um and then this also kind of reminds me of like a trail, like Trail of Tears too, like the displacement of the Native Americans, and that could have that type of connection with this card as well. So I feel like I was going to say something else. I feel like there's been a different type of pace around this time. Because maybe you're used to going one pace and then life right now is like it might be some type of side quest or something that it could be taking longer or it could be taking shorter than expected. And it kind of feels like the right place at the right time type of thing. And honestly, I kind of saw this as a sign. I'm sorry, this is open, but this is a true bar. So it's a protein bar, no gluten, no dairy, no soy, no seed oils, no sugar, alcohols, all delicious. So I really like the get in my belly PB and jelly flavor. It um I got this at Costco. It was a two pack. There's like this cookie dough one and then the PB&J. I prefer the taste of the PB&J, but I think like both flavors are nice considering they're like um a specific type of bar. So I'll start the reading. And this could be like thinking about where you put your time towards too. And it's pretty random. Let me pull out the cards first. I want to pull the cards out first before even saying it, but so there's like this fucking kid that just like irks my soul because I don't know, like I don't even know this person, and it's not like that, like not getting under my skin type of thing, but it's just like weird because on my other channel, the person just like comments stuff and like if it's like, you know, standard comments, it's just not that like not like that, but these comments like get weirder and weirder as like time goes on and I'm like I don't know what you're trying to achieve with these comments. Um but like if I don't know cuz I think about how I would approach it if I do or just leave it as is because I just feel like I could definitely be a savage about it, go from like 0 to 1,000 with it. And I don't want to like, if it's a kid, like, I don't want to like scar them. So I'm like, well, you don't have to keep saying these things and then like, I don't know if they're expecting a response or not expecting a response, but it's just kind of strange. And 'cause because I'm not giving him that type of affection. So I'm definitely not expecting him to give me anything. But anyway, that was just my little thing that didn't have to do with the reading, but I share random things. And again, that's why I wanted to pull the cards before even saying something about it. So it doesn't feel like stuff is gaining as much momentum as, again, anticipated. As I said, I feel like there's like a time, place, and pace that is going on right now that seems pretty evident in that um, it might be trying to have you not rush into it emotionally too quickly. And it's not like you're not emotionally invested in the thing that you're doing, but it just seems like still adding that groundedness to it. But what I'm going to show is a wands card, so fire for this deck. But it seems like it might be a little balanced because you have the seven of wands, and this kind of feels like an endeavor or something that you're pursuing, and it could be somebody that you're pursuing. And it, even though it's not a Pentacles card too, because Seven of Pentacles is one that is a card of patience and a card that is um it's a card of waiting, but you did like plant seeds in a way. With the Seven of Wands, it's kind of a another area of life too. I mean, everything's interconnected because you have all the elements and then ether or the spirit. So that would be the symbolism of it can be different symbols in different cultures, but just to say like a pentacle, and you don't have to have any spiritual significance to it. I'm just putting it out there. So, because the Seven of Wands feels like the hard work that gets put into it, but it hasn't yet taken off because the Eight of Wands definitely feels like energy, energy, energy. And it kind of feels like that rush or after the climax. This feels like it hasn't, um, like with a roller coaster, it hasn't gotten past like that hill in order for it to go down and be like more fast paced. I think I'm gonna start another. I don't know if I'm gonna start another music playlist, but I am gonna like do different types of video playlists, like stuff that I like to watch and like maybe people might be interested in watching, mainly on my other channel because it's my personal channel. I think it's kind of just fun to like share those things on my current music playlist, mainly alternative and punk, as I that's what it's titled, but there's other stuff on there too. But I try to keep it um so it has like more of a flow, but there is a cover of the Quiet Drive Time After Time that's on there. And then that talks about it kind of reminds me of like the Three of Wands energy, where if you're trying to leave like a trail and have somebody else like try to be like the investigator of the group, because you know, like if you have a friend group where you have like your friend that like knows the tea before like maybe the tea is even ready or the tea like even came out to the public or before like you even found out about it, and it may not have even involved them, like it may have involved like you, and they found out about it before you did. Like if you broke if like you used to go out with somebody and they found out like they got a new life, like maybe they got a new job or like they moved or they had this happen that was great in terms of they got married or they had a divorce, like something like that. And then um like you didn't know about it and then you're like, "Oh my God, did you like I had to tell you something." And then maybe it is really tea, like the type of tea where you're in public and you just have to give like, you have to look around to make sure like who's around you. And because like the tea is hot or it's just so like batshit insane that you're like, who will be prepared for this if they accidentally or intentionally eavesdrop on what's about to be said? and then you like say it or you whisper it, and they're just like, I already knew about that. This is what happened. This is the date that it happened. It's been going on for this amount of time. They made this amount of income in this time frame. Now it did this. The fucking like I don't know, like the stocks, like they were invested in stocks, and then the stocks went down in like a certain area that they invested in. Like I don't fucking know. Just like that attention to those types of things, and they're just and you're just like, I knew that you would know, but at the same time, like, how did you know? So it could be like that type of thing too. But with the Seven of Wands, there's something that kind of balances that because you have this King of Cups. I don't want to press a button by accident, but I'm trying to pick it up. It's on my keyboard or on the keypad. So you have the King of Cups, and you see like King of Cups has like the water, the pitcher. Oh my god. And sorry, I'm just like looking at this because um because I just look at stuff differently now for certain things, like with garments, since I have another sewing machine now that I actually want to do a lot more with. I just like looking at the different types of clothing and how it was like created and like the time frame and the origin or the region, the culture behind it. Because you see it with like the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So a water and air sign, it doesn't have to be, but those are the energies that are popping up. You can have the embodiment again. You have multiple signs in your chart, so you can um, see how that placement is. But in terms of movement, I feel like this King of Cups, for some reason, like helps the Queen of Swords because the Queen of Swords is the overall energy for the reading. So I feel like it's kind of like the main character type of energy. And I'm not saying like the King of Cups isn't a part of her life or like the main situation thing that's happening, but it's almost like he's almost like putting out the fire in a way because it sets you back to maybe the roots or the reality or what's going to make this really thrive and make it be more successful. Because with the Queen of Swords, I'm not saying that there's a dryness, but there like is a tendency with the sword suit to have so much on the mind, and sometimes it can ignore or dismiss things of like the heart in a way. It seems a little bit on the straightforward side, but not paying attention to that part or that part of life or that audience that is or person that may be revealing these things in that way. I feel like there's a level of perceptiveness because maybe because the Queen of Swords does seem to be like an individual type of character. Out of all the queens, she is a queen in general. I'm not saying it's for everyone. In general, that tends to be linked to like divorcee type of energy, a person that has been there and done that, and it's enough with the bullshit. She doesn't want any part of it. She sees it and she just walks away, or she does something else, or she just dismisses it. I feel like with this King of Cups, it kind of brings those emotions back to life. Like, because you have the water and then you have the crops growing, and it's kind of like almost like peeping or being above the plants. And the Chariot is that steady movement because it is major arcana. I was gonna say something else. Um, it almost feels like there is a reminder with this King of Cups. Oh, this is what I was like going at with the divorcee energy or like the singular energy. I'm not saying that you have to be, but again, bringing that emotion back to life, it's almost like allowing the Queen of Swords to feel safe again in that realm. Because there could be something where it's completely guarded with like a demon fucking dog in front of the gate and nobody's allowed in but this King of Cups. So I don't know what he or she is doing or how he's being or like what he's feeding her. Like it could be like one of those hangry type of situations too where there's just that sustenance that you need. Like sometimes you just have a person in your life or situation that I'm sorry, I have my knitting here. Um, that just knows like exactly what you're looking for, like, or knows how to pick out that gift, or just like knows you, like the core of your being. Because I know, like, one of the difficulties, especially with different types of maybe, um, could be different people in the world, like, it could be ethnicities, it could be groups, um, like the LGBTQ. Um, I'm sorry if I'm saying that incorrectly, that honestly just want a certain way to live and to just, and that satisfies them to just be themselves. And there comes a point of time where like I feel like that could be like the Seven of Wands too. Like there could be like energy like where you're covering up who you are to an extent, like when you have to go to work. That, but it could be in other areas because with the Seven of Wands, it seems like there is a constant battle to be, and there's like intensity with that because happy to be alive, so it could be that drastic. So I'm sorry. Just to have that acceptance and to feel like other people are happy that they're exactly who they are and don't want them to change. That feels like that thing. And maybe it was almost to stretch. So, me being random as shit, but I had like a slice of cheese yesterday. And it depends. Like, if I have dairy products, well, because I have a milk allergy and I get hives if I have too much of it, but I do have like the beginning symptoms. And, like if it's cheese like mixed into something, it's in different types of cheeses. It depends what the cheese is. Um, if it's aged or if there's not as much lactose or if it's aged enough to where they say it's little to no lactose. Um, that's what they say, and that's what I read. So some are more like I can down it easier than others. So I took like one allergy thing yesterday. I take a couple of different allergy things. And this morning, like I wasn't sure if I was gonna make a video because I was just it was like I had a cold, like my eyes would not stop crying. It's not like I was sad or anything, but like it was just watering and it wouldn't stop until I like took more of the allergy stuff. And so I'm here. You have the obstacle, the Nine of Swords. It could be like what has developed, and it could be like what you try to protect and what you try to keep out, and there could be reasons of why you try to keep these things out or these people out, because it does have like kind of like a destructive mental um kind of personality that takes over in this area or this realm of your being, because the Nine of Swords is one that they're like thoughts that just like eat at you. And maybe you got bullied to a point like where even though the bullying has stopped and it made you build um, yourself, and now you came out um, like stronger than before, but there's still the wounds that aren't superficial, like they're deep down that haven't been like cleansed. It's just kind of almost, it almost rots because it rots within and there isn't much light to it. I feel like that's one of the most important things. Like, if there is somebody else or there's a situation, like this King of Cups for this Queen of Swords can help like cleanse those wounds in a way. Like, it's trying to like open the curtains, when, especially like if people go through seasonal depression, especially I mainly hear it around like the colder seasons. And it's good to have like a mental check with yourself, with other people, to make sure you're all good in the hood. And like you check up on them and you're just like, hey, just want to see how you are. And they're like, why, what's up? And you're like, well, you haven't left your room for days. I don't know if you've eaten for days. You're laying in bed for maybe 20 out of 24 hours. It just seems like we can go out and do something because like life is good and worth living. I know the sun isn't out right now, but we can make a day out of it and it's gonna be happy as shit. We could do this, that, and the third. I know you like this place. Like, this has like the most bomb ass chicken. It's like the best chicken joint in town. I know you love going there. I know you love the mashed potatoes. We're gonna have a feast. So if you just want to get up, like I can help you. It might take a little bit. That's why I came early, not too early because I know you don't like waking up until maybe midday. Lately, it's been you haven't been waking up that much. So we could do this and I got your back. So it kind of feels like one of those mental health checks that maybe somebody in your life, maybe this is like a sign that somebody might, maybe that's what the Three of Wands is like portraying, because that's like, oh my God, it's like the struggle with the Seven of Wands and leading like those signs couldn't get even like signier. Like, you just have to be attentive. And I feel like the Queen of Swords, um, she's a meticulous girl or woman, queen, and but I feel like the King of Cups can be um could pay attention to this detail too, because um with the cups or the water signs, those are like the signs that I feel like they really care about emotional well-being because that's what they're associated with in general. And just like softcore, oh my God, like maybe daddy husband type of vibes that's coming from the King of Cups. So that's exciting news. And it just feels like that type of bringing it to the table. Like this Queen of Swords, again, she's seen everything like hell and back. She's been to hell and came back alive. And she lived to tell the tale. And the King of Cups respects that. And he doesn't want to cause any more um, hellfire for her. She wants some peace in her life, and I feel like he could give that to her. So, how to overcome the obstacle is the Two of Swords, which is that perceptiveness that I was talking about, and like kind of playing it by ear too. This can be paying attention to the small details, as I said, not only for the big things, like small details to just see, like, oh, people might not know this because they don't normally see the Queen of Swords softer side, because they might see like the leader or the manager, like, could be a mom, could be like a person that just runs the show type of situation in that way, because there's the mental capacity to just keep it going. Like if you're a business person, I know this isn't Pentacles, but there's like the capacity to, you need to like be a person that keeps it going. Like if stuff just seems like it's going downhill, like you, unless you're trying to make it go downhill, like you gotta make sure that that doesn't even get close to that, or hopefully if it does, like you can bounce back from that. I know COVID did a lot to small businesses, so um like when the plague hits, it's just the aftermath is like, I survived. So, but with the small details, oh my God, I noticed that she stops by this one place like when she takes her walks because it has this specific flower, or she likes this in her um when she makes this type of soup or stew. It's like that little added detail of that type of love that maybe other people don't see. Like other, like people have different types of love language that they really go for. I mean, the Queen of Swords is actually associated with the Libra, and I just feel like Libra is like a lover sign. And if I choose love language, I'm just like, just give me it all. Like, I want everything. But I mean, everyone to a capacity, but that could be like the secret, because secretly the Queen of Swords wants to be maybe babied, but not too babied, but babied enough to where she knows that somebody cares, but they also know that she also wants to like run it, because she wants to like make sure that things go how she envisions it to go. Like she is going in with a plan. That also feels like this energy too of like bringing it to reality, making sure that like you have a plan, and that the things that are left, like with the trail, it's something that is momentous, and something that almost is like keeping track of. There's something with this Three of Wands that's really evident for this reading. It really is like a find me card, and it can be finding yourself too, with the sunflowers on how and when they phase, and like how high they can grow, like, and even how they're harvested. It's just this whole thing on how are we babying this, or how are we nurturing these things. It's important, like when you're taking care of plants, and not trying to be a plant killer, to like be attentive to the needs of your plants, and to do the research, and to um make sure that you prepared for that moment. So I didn't even turn over the past card. So the past card is the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups, I feel for this reading and in general, this card is really linked to like something that could have been built over time. And it can be something that's like maybe trust that was built over time because that has like that type of emotional support that's there. But it's also one of those flashback type of things too, or nostalgic. And honestly, sometimes like we have the best memories, and the memories just seem like better than how they were before. Like it just has like a sense of nostalgia, and the type of lighting, like when it happened, it just seems it makes it so serene. But again, we need to make sure that these things actually happened the way that they did, and what other things happened. Like if there were other dark corners to these moments, like if we're thinking about maybe past relationships and like when you have like the euphoric memories of the good things that happened, and then it's also the reality of like, so what else happened? And some things you can build up on and you can resolve, but there's also that important thing too to like if you're trying if like something is upsetting you, especially with the other person, like let them know soon, like pretty immediately, because you don't want it to fester, and then if it does, like, and it just continuously just is in you, and then you start to resent this person or the situation, or environment in your life. So it kind of reminds me, this almost feels maternal too. It's almost like it's a memory of, and it can be even angelic or like saint like, because it kind of looks like there's a veil like with the flag, and it almost seems as if you remember the love and the nurture. This can actually be like returning that, not in a way where you're just like giving it back and like walking away from it, but like maybe the King of Cups like really holds it to his soul those times that like the Libra or like the Queen of Swords or whatever sign it is, like I was feeling my worst, and one time it felt like it was rock bottom, then it wasn't rock bottom, then it was rock bottom, and that wasn't even like the rockiest bottom. And then Queen of Swords was just like I got you. Like you're not gonna go down like this. I'm not gonna allow it. So we can put our brains together to like problem solve. And I feel like the Queen of Swords may have like that chill ass energy where in moments of like these types of stressful not those are these stressful moments that are like super stressful to some people, I feel like she can hold her own with it and she'll carry it through. She's not gonna like bat an eye, or she's not gonna like have a fit about it. She is like the swords court cards can be linked to military, so she can have one of those battle cry types of energies, but overall, like she does have fight in her in that way. So there's like that type of tenacity that comes with this court card. So for the future, you have the High Priestess, Major Arcana. And the High Priestess, it feels like, because she has, or this being has like this shield, but it's as if it kind of says it knows who to let through and who to keep at bay. There's that level of perceptiveness. Honestly, I kind of feel like it links to the King of Cups too. even though like that garden is, no, I feel like it's linked to the King of Cups. Even though like the Queen of Swords is the guarded energy, I feel like the King of Cups knows that like deep down, this Queen of Swords, I'm sorry if I said Queen of Cups, this Queen of Swords knows, well, the King of Cups knows that this Queen of Swords is actually a person worth investing in. Let me just get like one more card and then that's it. Oh, okay. Well, I feel like these are interesting energies to have together. Oh my God, I was at the bookstore today because Archangel Michael's on here, right? And I was just like chilling at my seat knitting, watching a demon movie. But in Archangel, as I said, he was in the movie too. So you have the Hanged Man. I said one card, but whatever. The Knight of Wands, and then the Magician. So these two major arcana. So with these cards, it just makes me think that this is again one of those like divinely guided, like maybe the King of Cups knows that this is part of their mission, or the Queen of Swords knows that this is part of their mission, or like combined, they're just like meant to team up to do something. Um, because the Knight of Wands, it's such a paradox, but it kind of like is an energy like combined with the Hanged Man. It's like sit your ass down because we gotta do this. We gotta like build this up before it's what 10 years from now, and there's nothing that you could. There's no foundation. There's nothing that you invested in, type of thing. Because the Knight of Wands just feels like a little flighty and just as here is there. There's not really much of responsibility. There's not much of. I'm not saying that this Knight of Wands completely lacks um, being able to do things, but it doesn't seem like there's anything built with the Knight of Wands. And so with the Hanged Man, it's like life is forcing you to actually sit in that classroom or just like sit your ass down so you could actually make something of whatever situation or your life. And then the magician is pulling all the cards out for the Knight of Wands. It's almost as if like the universe is kind of like giving them little tidbits at a time. I'm not saying I think like based off of the personality of the Knight of Wands fire sign. So it could be Aries, like or other types of signs. It doesn't need to be, again, I don't really read for signs in that way for these types of readings. So it's like tolerable. I feel that the universe might be trying to give it to you in a way where it's palpable. And I'm not saying they're giving it to you in an easy way, but they're giving it in a way where it might be something that you won't completely detest or like just completely just reject or push away. Because with this type of hangman energy with the Knight of Wands, I don't see it as one where I feel like it would be like a fainting goat type of energy where the Knight of Wands will just respond so disastrously to it, or like just such an adverse reaction if they gave it to them in this type of format. I mean, sometimes in life, like you're given bullshit and you're gonna work with that bullshit and then you get through it. I feel like this energy, especially with the King of Cups, that might be one where it's just like they want it to be as comfortable as it can be for something that's uncomfortable. So, again, for the High Priestess, remember who, like, if you can accept a person or if you can't accept a person, and it's been a while, they're like one of the grandfather energies that helps in a way lead these types of Ukrainian readings, like pops up sometimes a lot of times to like mainly look at the cards, which is interesting. So it's um that's the reading. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video. I don't know. I said, oh my god. Bye. Oh.